Raphael is something else. Man, he just comes into my classroom every single day, causes a distraction, is always talking to students, just doesn't stop talking. And then when I tell him to stop, he likes to get mad at me, always showing me disrespect. Like, I don't know what to do anymore with him. I think the only solution that I have these days is just to send him out of class, because I've tried everything else. There's nothing that works with him. It's so frustrating. And then when he's out of my class, let me tell you, my class just runs so much smoother without him. It's like night and day, just taking one student out. Tahara, why can't he be more like Tahara? She is perfect. Always is on task, always following directions, is quiet. I like quiet. Quiet is good. I don't know what to do with it anymore.
So frustrated. One of my students in my classroom is such a class clown, like your typical class clown. He's always making jokes at the wrong times. He's always bouncing around. It seems like his whole goal in my classroom is to disrupt everybody. What am I going to do with you, Paul? What am I going to do? No way, he could just sit down and do the work. And then Rachel, she's not distracted. She does her work. But then when I call on her, she completely shuts down. She doesn't like to read aloud. And it's not fair because all the kids have to read aloud. So why doesn't she have to read aloud? I just don't know what to do with them. I wish they would just do what I told them to do the right thing.
Over the last couple of weeks and months, I've done quite a bit of reflecting on my teaching practices because in my class, things were just getting worse and worse, and I finally had to look in the mirror and say, what am I doing as a teacher to contribute to the behaviors that I'm seeing in my class? And the reality is I wasn't helping it at all, especially in the way that I was approaching students when situations might have arisen. And it's through this reflection that I've learned that listening is really a powerful way in connecting with students and building trust and building a foundational relationship with them. And it's through listening that the students have shared stories with me and personal experiences that are very, very powerful. And I've learned that the responsibilities that they might take on outside of class really do have an impact on the way that they might be acting in my class. They don't leave those experiences at the door. They certainly bring them in, and they are factors. So it's through the listening that I've begun to understand my students more. And the reality is as a white teacher, I cannot connect to the personal experiences that they have. They go through a lot, and much more so than I ever had to experience as a teenager. But the one thing that it has allowed me to do is it's allowed me to show empathy and compassion and love when I hear about these stories. And as a result, it's developed a reciprocal relationship with them. It's built more trust. And it's created some bonds the relationships aren't perfect by any means, but they have improved simply because I've changed my approach, and I've listened more, and I've talked less. And the one thing that I've learned in regards to like Tahara, for example, is that just because things on the surface seem okay, it doesn't mean that's the case at home. So I can't assume that, and nor should I. And Raphael, you know, I was viewing all the negatives about him, but he really does bring a lot to the table, and he is really energetic. And if we can get him engaged in the right way and allow him to open up, he brings a lot to the table in our class. So, you know, at times it's hard to look in the mirror, but when you do, you realize that your practices can be improved upon. And not only do they impact you as a teacher, because these stories have really impacted me, but more importantly, they impact our students. And that's what's really what it's all about.
Because I just felt that he was always just looking at my negatives, and to be honest, I guess I was kind of looking at his negatives too, in a way, you know. It's because he was the adult, but like he's a person too, so I like that. I like that we see each other as people. And he told me I could always write a little letter to him if anything's bothering me too. You know, he'll listen to me as long as it's not in front of the classroom. Like I could talk to him after school, and like he's willing to hash it out.
Mr. Thomas's class, yeah, it's gotten like way better. It's like actually fun now. I mean, he starts class by like letting us all share in a circle, and I mean, he notices if he says like I look like something's up, and asks me how I'm doing. And like if I come in and don't want to talk, he like just listens and actually cares. And he helped me get counseling through the school. The counselor really helps. So like now if I need anything, I can just ask him for it. So it's really good.
So last week, my school attended a PD which discussed the importance of institutional culture of care. And what was interesting to me was that this PD focused on the importance not just of the teachers, but the custodians at the school, the principal, the office staff, and the way that we all need to work together to create an environment where we engage students, but also show them that we actively care. Because according to some of the information that they shared, students behave differently. They see that everybody around them cares, therefore they want to do well, and also living up to high expectations because the community around them believes that they can achieve. And it also made me think about maybe some of the disciplinary actions that I've been taking in my classroom that may be like pushing away that idea. For example, like kicking students out of my classroom, that's not going to show them that I care. I'm literally pushing them away. So it made me think, what am I doing? What am I doing that is not improving this behavior? So I kind of want to go back to my classroom and take some time to listen to my students and get to know them, and maybe see what's going on at home, see what's going on outside, and just see what I can do to get them to feel more comfortable in the classroom, and so that they can apply themselves, because I do care and I just didn't know necessarily how to show them. I feel like maybe I was showing or acting in more of a deficient model as opposed to an asset-based model. So I'm going to try to listen to my kids and see what I can do as an educator to get them to apply themselves and have high expectations for them so that they can live up to them.
How'd it go today with Miss Lauren? It's been awesome! Dude, night and day since she came back from UCLA. She was gone for a few days for, I think she called it PD. And we had a sub for a few days, which is nice. But she's come back a whole new woman. She comes back and she's got a smile on her face. We're laughing together, we're joking. She even asked about my family, which really meant a lot to me, actually. I got to share just a little bit about like some of the issues my family's going through. I don't know what they put in the water at UCLA, but I want some more. It's been awesome.
I've been participating in class lately. First, Ms. Laren just asked me to read to her and then to small groups. And then she also gives me questions beforehand so I can write my answers down and read from my notes when she calls on me. It's easier this way. I don't get nervous and I remember what to say. It's cool. Ms. Laren's awesome. She believes in me.